Hey, welcome to episode 1 of the Detached and Loving It podcast. I'm your host, Drew Benson, and this week we're kicking things off with a bang, or should I say a bite. In honor of Shark Week, we're diving into the legendary summer blockbuster that started it all, Jaws. Now, for those of you new to the podcast, we just want to bring you in a little slow, introduce you what this is all about. We're talking pop culture, film, nostalgia, any and everything that we love. Now, joining me today is my special co-host, Tori, who has a specific passion for Jaws, aquatic horror, and sharks. How are you doing, Tori?
I'm doing great. How are you?
I'm chilling. Same old, you know me. Nothing new. Nothing new. What do you do you have your Jaws mug or
I do.
your
Well, you can't see the back on my shirt, but the back on my shirt is my favorite shark shirt. It's a
hmm
massive great white and a cowboy riding a shark. It's just
and what are don't you have like a shark drink
I do.
or
I have
something?
a I came prepared with my Jaws mug. Got
Damn,
it
she's locked in, guys.
yeah, filled up with some of my favorite craft beer, so I am ready to go, ready to talk all things
Let's
Jaws
go.
and celebrate this movie.
So let's get into it. Let's get into it. I definitely rewatched it the other night when we were talking about it. Damn it. Sorry guys, I need my oh I can't do a pod without it. Liquid death. Mm,
Some ASMR.
there we go. Right there. Damn,
Nice.
that's good. So, pause. Release date June 20th, 1975. Directed by Steven Spielberg. He was 27 when he directed. He was in his bag at 27. I was such a bum at 27. Based on the novel by Peter Benchley, released in 1974. This movie's runtime was 124 minutes, short but sweet. Rating PG. Jesus Christ, this is not a PG movie. This was even before PG-13 existed. Production budget $9 million. Tori, before I get into the box office, how much do you think this movie generated worldwide?
I mean, I'm gonna guess around like 125 million.
Not even close. This movie took it was $9 million to make. This movie made over $470 million worldwide. Insanity.
Yeah.
Awards: 3 Oscars, Best Editing, Best Original Score, Best Sound, perfect
Can't
Rotten
disagree.
Tomato score. Like the legacy of this movie, it's literally considered the first modern summer blockbuster. This is the event movie. This is the quintessential event movie. Cast: Roy Scheider, Chief Martin Brody, who we all know and love. Richard Dreyfuss played Matt Hooper. Robert Shaw as Quint, my boy Quint. I love Quint, guys. We gonna get into that. Lorraine Gary as Ellen Brody, and Murray Hamilton as Mayor Vaughn, shady ass Mayor Vaughn. So this was the ultimate blockbuster. How did Jaws, in your opinion, redefine suspense, horror, and fear in that genre? What do you think?
Well, let's just start with that. Jaws came out significantly before I was born, like 2 decades before I was even born. So the fact that this is one of my all-time favorite movies and has had such like a massive impact on my life in so many
Mm-hmm.
ways, kind of like you alluded
Mm-hmm.
to, it's just I think that just shows first and foremost how this film has stood the test of time. This was made in the 70s, like you said. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
the fact that it was shot on set in the actual ocean and the fact that we didn't have CGI and that this is Steven Spielberg's like first actual big picture movie. And the fact that he was 27, like you said, I mean, that is
Mm-hmm.
insane to be shooting on set in the ocean with the technology they had back then. And
Mm-hmm.
I just think the fact that the way the film was made and how what I think is a perfect film and it really just it speaks for itself, and I think a
Start to
lot of
finish, you think this is A1, perfect.
there are some very, very minor flaws that we can get
Okay,
into. I
let's
mean,
get into it.
I would say I've seen a lot of movies, and this is forever a 10 out of 10. Will always be in my top
Hmm.
5. And I mean, I don't even remember the first time I watched this movie. That's how long and how young I was when I saw it. Luckily my
Hmm.
parents were very open-minded and always let me just kind of watch horror movies for better or worse, but we're
Same.
here. So it shaped my personality.
Hey man, that's what it's all about. We're here. We're normal. We're not psychopaths. We're just a bunch of film nerds. It's okay.
Yeah, it's
It's okay.
okay. But yeah,
I
it
watched
literally
this.
one of my
Go,
favorite
go.
movies ever. It has
Hmm.
what I mean, sharks is my favorite animal. It always has been because of this film. I'm
Yeah.
a certified scuba diver, and my favorite scuba dives are always some shark dives, and a lot of that has all of it has come from this film. I mean, there's no one else in my family who does scuba. My parents are like terrified at the fact that for fun I like to go
Hmm.
jump in the water with sharks, but I mean
I'm a little
that
terrified.
just
Yeah.
yeah, that just shows you how amazing this film is and how it's personally shaped my life and my hobbies.
How long have you been scuba diving?
Probably a decade now. Probably since I was like
Damn.
19. Yeah,
Whoa. So do you have like videos and photos of these? Like do you have like
I do.
GoPros?
Yeah.
I don't know. Okay, no,
Yeah.
we gotta put those in the pod. That's fire. I had no idea you had been doing it that long.
Yeah, for a
So
pretty long time.
did you mention, are you saying that you saw this movie for the first time and then that just spawned your like love for like the aquatics and sharks and whatnot? Or was it something
Yeah,
else?
it was mainly that, and then just in combination that again, I have amazing parents who really just let all of my interests flourish. But I grew up going to the beach. It was something I did like every
Okay.
year, summer vacation to the beach. So I was
Hmm.
pretty often exposed to the beach for someone growing up in Ohio where there's no beach at all. But
Yeah.
just going to the beach every year and having that be my favorite time of year, and then in combination with seeing Jaws and just being so fascinated by it, and I'm sure we'll get
Right.
into it, but one of my favorite things about the film is that it is the most simple, realistic event, just getting into the ocean, and Spielberg just puts this amazing twist on it and makes something as simple as just getting into the ocean such like a terrifying and scary experience. And I think
Right.
that is also something that makes this film stand the test of time because that's not that kind of fear is something that doesn't expire. Like you will always go to the beach and getting in the ocean, like Jaws is always the first thing I think of and thinking of sharks in that
It's
experience.
it's so crazy that this movie has such a very straightforward, simple concept. It's just a shark terrorizing a small beachy town. Nothing too extreme, nothing crazy. He's not like some super mutated deep blue sea shark. He's not some gigantic meg shark. It's just a great white. And this movie still hits hard to this day. And I feel like a lot of that comes from like not just the story, but the sound design, the editing, the music. Like it just all kind of works symbiotically and organically, and it just ties everything together. I don't even know if I would classify this as a monster movie or it's just kind of a thriller. And,
So,
and we are, go.
yeah, no, I literally everything you just said is perfect because it just kind of made me think if I'm thinking about this movie, it's not really about the shark that I'm thinking about or the people. I think the overall, like, the biggest part of this film that really I think only
Hmm.
Spielberg could have done is that the film is about the omnipresence of the shark, which
Right.
that omnipresence is experienced through the music, through the way the camera is shooting from a water level, and just through the editing. And I
Yes.
think that is what, you know, it won an Oscar for a reason. It won multiple Oscars for all those reasons, and all of those go into the omnipresence that is so scary because, as you know, if you've seen the film, the shark really isn't in it until the very end when you actually
He's barely
see
in the
him
movie.
barely in the
Yes.
movie. But that
Yes,
omnipresence
that
is alluded to throughout, and I think that is it's stunning filmmaking, honestly.
one of the shot you just mentioned, how the you're seeing they do the POV shots from the jaws under the water. That makes me think of Halloween 1, the very first
Yeah.
Halloween. I don't think they did the every now and then you would just be behind Michael's mask.
Fly in the
You'd
mask,
hear the
yeah.
breathing and the little eye holes and all that. And I was just like, this just elevated the creep factor to like
Yeah.
100. And I'm fucking locked in. I love it. I love every little bit of it or whatever. Spielberg. You mentioned Spielberg, our boy Spielberg. Talking to you leading up to this episode, because you know how we do. I did not know that Spielberg was actually rooting for the shark while he was reading the book.
Yeah.
Is that a fact?
That's something that I read somewhere because obviously this movie was a blockbuster from day one. This has
Mm-hmm.
always been a massive movie, and from my understanding, Spielberg didn't really he didn't really want to make he wanted to make horror movies. That's what he wanted to do.
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
obviously right after this film he makes Close Encounters of the Third Kind, which is amazing. But leading
Classic.
up to that, he he read this book as he was like leaving Universal, saw it sitting on a table, just so happened to pick it up and started reading it. And he was so enthralled by what he was reading. He was like, I have to make
Right.
this. And while he was reading
Yeah.
it, it was the shark where he was like, this shark is awesome. This is who I want to win. Again, I think a lot of his inexperience in the industry is what led to the film being so good, because anyone who'd been a director forever is going to think about character development and think about,
Yeah.
well, we need to have these people and whatnot. And I think him rooting for the shark and having so much, I don't know, like expectation and so much pressure on that character
Yeah.
is what
Yeah.
made the film so good. And I really don't
That's a
think anyone could have
really
done it like him.
that's a really cool concept. Like if you just apply that to like our day-to-day lives or just like where we're at in our lives now, I feel like we were almost at our best selves when we were just so carefree, when we just didn't give a shit about what people thought. We didn't know, we weren't like super type A personalities. We just did it to just do it. And that's damn, that is yeah, he was just a young, hungry filmmaker and he just went for it and he nailed it. So literally a little unhinged, but he did it.
A little true.
I did not know that there were three versions of the shark in this movie. I knew they were mechanical sharks. Just
Yeah.
hey, I went on the Universal Studios ride. I know what's going on
Yeah.
here, but I did not know they were named Bruce.
Hmm. So
These fake.
Bruce,
Why did they? Yeah. What's the Bruce backstory?
so anytime Spielberg was talking about the shark, he obviously didn't want it to have a name in the movie for obvious
Mm-hmm.
reasons. Like, it is the
Right.
villain, it's a fucking shark, it doesn't have a name. But on set, when he was talking about the sharks, he would just be like, we need Bruce 1, Bruce 2, Bruce 3. And as a movie buff, I one of my specific interests is like the set of the movie, which is also why I love this film because it was shot on
Mm-hmm.
set and that's so rare.
Yeah. I love
So
that.
when just like kind of looking into the set, it I found that there were three different mechanical sharks. So one had the left side cut out where someone would be from the film crew would be standing behind it like cranking some shit to make its fucking fin move and open and close
Some
its
puppet
mouth.
master shit. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So one had the left side cut out, one had the right side cut out, and then the other one had the underneath cut out. So they had three different versions depending on what angles they were shooting, what scene they were shooting. They would bring out these different ones, um, whether or not it needed its mouth to open and close. It was just this whole thing. And kind of like I said earlier, the fact that this was shot in 75, like
Yeah.
it really is, it's just it really doesn't look that bad. for the
No,
time it's
it
shot.
you know I love my 4K media. I
Yeah.
just looked at these bad boys on 4K Blu-ray the other day, and damn, this is a gorgeous, gorgeous movie. All the scenes when they're out at sea, fire. You feel like you're right there. And I barely even noticed, like, you know how like over time things start kind of showing its age, like CGI and stuff like that. Yo, the mechanical shark still looks pretty good. Like in modern day, this 50th anniversary release, I'm like, damn, this is fire. But like anything, especially in those early days, there had to have been a bunch of like production nightmares, malfunctions. We're in the ocean. We're really on set, like you mentioned, like those conditions, script rewrites, actors on set. Like, can you talk about some of that? Like, do you know like the history of all that?
Pretty decent amount. So I know the sharks, obviously, they had been testing them in the Universal Studios. And when they were testing them in like a freshwater tank.
Mm-hmm.
So obviously, when you move them to the ocean and you're working with salt water, it caused
Mm-hmm.
so many problems. And to my understanding, the film was shot in sequence, so from beginning to end. And a lot of like the first half of the movie, I mean, you only see the shark like from above or you see its shadow. It's really only
Mm-hmm.
once they go out on the orca when you actually see like the full shark.
The full
And a
body.
lot of that really wasn't done on purpose. A lot of that was done because there were so many problems with the sharks in the water where,
Mm-hmm.
you don't see the whole shark until later in the film. And I think it wasn't done on purpose, but just as I rewatched it last night, I was thinking, you don't even notice how, I mean, the shark doesn't look bad, but you don't notice how like cringy and fake it looks because at that point
Yeah,
you're
it's a
you're almost
like
done in the movie and you're so invested in the characters and what's happening that the
yeah,
the look and the technical aspect of the shark is pretty much ignored because you're just so invested. And again, that wasn't something done on purpose.
yeah.
I think it was just part of the magic of the way this film came together.
Exactly. No, that's a fact. Like by the third act, I don't give a shit that this is a fucking puppet machine. It still looks terrifying. We literally saw like we didn't see the shark, but we literally saw kids being eaten
Yeah.
like off the rip or whatever, and I didn't even see the shark. We saw heads under and during the underwater mat scene or whatever. Like come on, man. Like this it was fine. It's still fine. I
Yeah.
totally get it. Speaking of some of like the gore in this movie, this is why like I was just so like this movie was PG.
Yeah.
Like they were really, really getting their shit off in this movie, and I loved it. But that's how it was in early horror movie days, like Last House on the Left, Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Like they didn't care. It was like gruesome.
So I
So
know I
go
know when it was shown in films, or in
hmm
movie theaters, it was shown in its full, all of its glory. But
right.
I think, again, like thinking back to how things were before streaming platforms, a lot of those movies that were coming out were also being like made for TV. And I know when they did the made for TV version, they cut it down so much to cut out the gruesomeness so that it could be aired on more channels, which is
Boo.
now crazy to think of. But I mean, that's how it
Yeah.
was back then.
That is trash. Like, I don't know. Like, what do you know any of the specific scenes that were cut because they were too gory? Like, was the Alex scene cut for TV?
I know the Alex scene was cut, and then just some of the scenes where in the estuary when the adult guy is attacked, I don't even think he has a name, and his like
Is
leg
that
kind of
the
drifts to the bottom.
is that the scene where the two dudes were on the dock? No.
No, that's when all like the boys are playing in like the little pond area. They called it the
Oh
pond.
yes, yes, that's right. Yeah,
And
yeah,
that
yeah.
like grown
Okay.
adult dude is attacked, and there after it, you just see his leg kind of like drift to the bottom of the ocean
Yeah,
floor.
yeah.
And I think
Yeah,
that was
okay. I
cut.
remember
I
that.
think Ben's head rolling out was cut out. And fun fact
Ben,
about that
shout out to
scene,
Ben.
that was only added actually towards the end, which we can get into the script and all of the edits and stuff. That scene was not originally in the film at all, but when Spielberg was doing early screenings, there was just a
Hmm.
huge gap of time where there was no like jump scare, and everything
Yeah.
was just kind of dramatic, and Spielberg felt like people were losing the fear at that rate. It was just kind of dying down. So they
Yeah.
actually went back in and totally added that whole boat outing scene just to add in
Yeah.
some type of little jump scare.
Dude, I love that boat outing scene.
It's
Another
amazing.
thing, like the acting, like I don't know the acting, but just like everybody was putting on a clinic because they were like acting like super terrified. It's like I felt like they were really being attacked. Like that's how realistic this all felt. Almost too realistic. And I want to talk about that first kill scene regarding Chrissy, the girl and the guy. They're like on the beach at night. She's the drowning scene.
Yeah.
Apparently, the actress was waterboarded. What the? Tell me more. What the?
So that's obviously one of the most iconic scenes because that scene is used as the cover art, which we can get into the
Mm-hmm.
cover art later on. I mean, everyone knows that cover art. It's iconic. It's her skinny dipping, swimming
Mm-hmm.
across, and then you have
Yep.
massive jaws coming up. But,
Classic.
the thing people always say about movies is don't use animals and don't use kids, don't use teenagers. And Spielberg went against all of that in this movie. This, he said, yeah, you've got kids in here and in scenes, you've got the dog, Pippin, who is just eaten. He goes away and never comes back. So,
Yeah.
but I think one of the Chrissy scene is it's just an amazing opening, and I think it sets the tone for the rest of the movie because
Mm-hmm.
when they were filming it, Spielberg was just like, I need more. I need you to like your sound is not good, and they ended up just bringing her to the studio and literally waterboarding her and having her scream and to get that actual sound. And if you watch the film
Yeah.
back, it's really hard to tell, but you can tell that they added it in over because her mouth doesn't always match up. But because of that, and that was
No.
noticeable, they went back in and Spielberg, as he did for this whole movie, created this like underwater little like tube tunnel that they kind of clipped her into, and it was just on these kind of like a roller coaster kind of thing, pulling her back and forth, which is how her dragging looks so smooth. And he kind of just sped that up to make it less noticeable that her voice was a sound in and an add in.
That's unhinged. I'm not co-signing any of this. This is crazy. But I guess they're just
It worked
dedicated to
out.
the craft. What? Yeah. What did the actress? You know how like it'd be them like years later docu-series or behind the scenes, was she like traumatized from this experience, or do you know?
I read somewhere where there was rumors that whatever contraption they made like broke some of her ribs and she was like severely
Jesus
injured.
Christ.
But
Okay.
in an interview I watched later on, she denied that and just said it was being part of an iconic film kind of just made everything.
That is crazy. I want to get into like the film style and the technique. We touched on some of that already early on. We talked about like 25% of the film is shot at like water level to like emulate the swimmer's POV. The sharks only in the movie for about 4 minutes total of screen time. How about the music? How the music becomes a shark and how like they use audio as a presence. I don't think before this that had been done before. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. But
I really don't think so, and even thinking back, I think that's what made the movie so iconic was because it was something
mhm.
new, and a lot of that was I know when the music was first brought to Spielberg, he was kind of like, this sounds like kind of clownish," and I think it was only once it was married up with the scenes on the screen where Spielberg
Mhm.
was like, "Oh, this is something." And not only just like
Yeah.
that sound everyone knows. It is one of the most iconic
Dum dum.
scores in the
Yeah.
history of film. And
Mhm.
as the shark gets closer, the music is sped up, and and I know Spielberg also wanted to throw in the music more because he was like, "This is iconic. We got to throw it in here, throw it in here." And
Mhm.
John Williams, the composer, was like, "No, you can only use it when it is emulating the shark." So obviously it's
Yeah.
used in the very opening scene where the title comes
Hmm.
out, and the first couple scenes are underwater where Jaws is swimming
Yeah.
through the ocean. And if you even think about the rest of the movie, like there's always some type of little sound and some little music in the background, but the only
Hmm.
time the theme is used is when the shark is there, even though most of the time you
Hmm.
don't see him. But I think
Hmm.
that is something that is very rare to this movie, and I think people realize that. It has
Yeah.
definitely been used ever since then, but I think this is the
For
first
sure. They
movie.
bit this whole movie.
Oh,
This
yeah.
movie like set the tone for that type of audio filmmaking and whatnot. Like you mentioned the scores, like real quick. Let's get into it. Where do you rank? Give me your top. We'll do five. First of all, is the Jaws theme song in the top five best cinematic scores of all time?
I argue that for me,
Okay.
Jaws is number 1, but I think for a more general public, obviously Star Wars. Star Wars takes the top. Iconic
Okay.
music.
But it is in the top five. Okay. So
Yeah. Ooh,
give me
top
your
3.
other give me your remaining three. You already said Jaws, Star Wars. Who what else do you got?
Um, Definitely Jurassic Park is up there. And then I gotta give some love to my Scream film. Marco Beltrami in that Scream film is it's
Ooh,
amazing.
yeah, yeah.
It's so
Are we
good.
talking like the Woodsboro thing?
Woodsboro hymn and Dewey's little song, and even the
Yeah.
songs that he put in, like the first time Billy climbs through Sydney's window, he plays Don't Fear
Yeah,
the
yeah, yeah.
Reaper. And it's like
Yes.
the
The
first time
actual
you watch it,
soundtrack
you're
music.
just like,
Yeah.
"Oh, wow, that's awesome." And then once
Yeah.
Billy's revealed as the killer, you're like, "Shit." It's
Yeah.
it was just amazing
Damn.
foreshadowing, and music does so much to a film, and it's an easy way to fuck it up, but this film, it
Definitely a
did not
yeah.
miss.
They did it right. Let me
It
see if I
didn't
can do
miss.
my top five. I'm putting Jaws in there. I'm gonna go with Jaws. I'm gonna go with your top three. Jaws, Jurassic Park, Star Wars, another movie that has multiple scores, theme songs in it that are just hit different. Like the main theme, the Imperial March theme, Luke looking at the twin suns. So all of Star Wars is in there. Let me get like a little random fun one. I like the Home Alone theme.
Home Alone is good. That is
Like that theme. It makes me feel like Christmas. You know, I'm a big, well, I was a big, I know you, because you said Scream. I'm like, what's my horror
yeah.
theme? I'm gonna go ahead and it's no longer I Know What You Did Last Summer. I love Julie's theme back in the day. I think my favorite horror theme is Nightmare on Elm Street theme.
That was
The
good.
ding
That's a good
ding
one too.
ding. That was it for me. I love that theme.
Yeah. I I think the
Go.
scores in horror movies are a little different, and this is why I rank Jaws above Star Wars, because Star Wars is obviously
Okay.
iconic. I think worldwide,
Right.
Star Wars has to be number 1, but I think in horror
Absolutely.
films, it's so different because the music is, especially in the films where you don't see the monster or the
Right.
villain, I think it just
Right.
it I think without doing it purposefully, which is a lot of what happened in Jaws, that the music is just a simulation or just a thought that what you don't see is actually more terrifying than what you do see. And I
That's a
think that
fact.
just hits different in horror films than in fantasy films or anything else.
Hell yeah. Nah, that's 100% fact. Do you have a favorite or do you have favorite lines in the movie? Any like iconic lines that stick out to you?
Obviously, we're gonna need a bigger boat is up there.
Right. Nah,
I
that's the
mean,
one. That
yeah, we
shot in
can.
general is pretty iconic.
It's
Where
amazing.
he just sees it. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, before we move on, can I finish some editing thoughts I had?
No, excuse
I
me.
got a
Yes,
lot.
absolutely. We gotta talk about that poster too. My bad.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I got a
let's
lot
run
to
it
say.
back.
This is
You
one of
good?
my top movies. So
Let's go.
another thing I think
Yes.
again, I think some of it was just Spielberg did it unknowingly, but it worked in his favor is like the jolt cutting where you go from a super loud, chaotic scene to something that's a little more quiet and wholesome. And I think especially nowadays where films are so like, they're
Mm-hmm.
changing camera angles because you got to keep people's
Clockwork.
attention. It's go, go, go.
Yeah.
I think this film had such a great balance of quick jolt
Mm-hmm.
cutting and then
Right.
sitting there staring at one character for an extended period of time. And
Right.
I mean, it worked here. It built a lot of tension. You'd go from, I mean, the best example I can think of is where the shark is hanging on the dock. They think they caught Jaws. They're all like, hell yeah, let's go. This
Yeah.
is awesome.
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
it's crazy. It's chaotic. You got Hooper trying to tell Brody that this is not the shark. This is not it. And right after that, you skip straight to where Brody's sitting at his kitchen table having family dinner and him and his kid are making faces at each other. And it just goes
Just
from
chilling, doing the.
something so crazy and like
Yeah.
chaotic
Yeah.
and then to something so wholesome. And I think it also did a lot of character building in that the way that it was edited. Again, it won an Oscar for it, so it worked.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's something that usually I don't like in films, and in this one it worked so well. And I think the
That's the
transitions
thing.
were also like very amazing.
They were smooth. The transitions were buttery smooth. Super buttery smooth. I love the transitions in this. And yeah, I didn't even think about like yeah, how it could go from like whoa, some crazy shit just went down at the docks or at the beach to just family dinner time with your kids.
Yeah,
And and the sheriff was such like a pens. They were like, I mean, Act 1 and 2. He's such a like a pensive character. Like he can just be deep in thought or whatever. And the way he emoted that all throughout the film was just chef's kiss,
it was.
magnificent.
It
I
was.
loved it. Yes.
And then the other big editing thing that I think is amazing
Mm-hmm.
is what they call the jaw shot now, which is essentially forward tracking on a camera, but you're zooming
Mm-hmm.
out, which the
Okay.
the biggest scene in this film that I can think of is when Brody's standing on the beach and he's seeing the shark from a distance when it's attacking Alex. It's the
Yes.
camera is fast tracking in on it, but the zoom out. And I know he borrowed that from Hitchcock, so it wasn't something new, but it was pretty much a reverse of what Hitchcock would do because Hitchcock would just do the
Zoom
opposite and
in.
it worked so
Right.
well. And just the reverse worked
Mm-hmm.
amazing. And then even in those scenes, I mean, we can talk about the casting too, but
We can.
these yeah, I think that's all the things I have on editing, but
No, no, you're
yeah,
good. I love it.
that's
You
a
are
lot.
cooking right now. I feel like you're. Are you a filmmaker? Is it
I
or
no, in
you just
another way.
know that? God damn you! Damn, I was not even tracking all the jolt cuts and the Hitchcockian shots and all of that.
Yeah, it's
Iconic lines.
film 101, baby.
I know. God damn, you are killing. I gotta have you back. Iconic lines. You ready to get into
Okay.
it?
So yeah, I think my favorite line of the film is
Hmm.
honestly at the beginning when Brody is trying to get the mayor to close the beach, and this is after only Chrissy's been killed. No one else has been killed yet. And the mayor's trying to essentially gaslight him, and he's like, no, this was a boat accident, whatever. And obviously, 4th of July is coming up. The mayor wants his money. The mayor's like, you say boat accident, people move on. And then
Hmm.
he pauses, and very carefully, the line is delivered, and all he says is, when people scream shark, it's a different reaction. And just the first half of that line, when people scream
Hmm.
shark, it is there's just something in the way that it's delivered and his expression and the pause after it before he finishes the second half
Yeah.
of the line. It is just delivered impeccably. And
Yes.
I think that has to be my absolute favorite line. And it's something so random in the middle of a sentence, in the middle of dialogue. It was just flawlessly executed.
That's 100. I think I agree with you. Like this movie is full of just iconic lines. But some of the lines that people don't really talk about, I think those are my favorite. In particular,
Hit me with
my
yours.
boy Quint. Every time this guy opens his mouth, and it's usually kind of a mutter or some type of mumble, he's got like a little bit of a little slur because he's been sipping on that yak. But this guy, oh my God, like there's a scene in Act Three. Act Three is obviously the best act. It's my favorite in my
Yeah.
opinion. Where I think Jaws circles. This is the first time he spins the block on the guys, and he starts kind of damaging the boat for the very
Yeah.
first time. They're all kind of just like shooting the shit downstairs and having war stories. And then I think a lantern falls down during this scene and the boat catches on fire. Quint, who is just unbothered by that, is just like, hey, Chief, why don't you just go put out the fire? Like, just those little lines just crack me up because I'm like, okay, this guy is just built different. He is just
So
old school, iron grit, World War II vet, don't give a fuck about anything, fearless or whatever. And then, speaking of that same scene, and I think this is a big deal, is the entire USS Indianapolis monologue that Quint
yeah,
delivers. Damn,
that
that
yeah,
was woo
that is
fire.
probably one of my most favorite scenes of this film. And going back to the way this was edited and the way it was shot with Spielberg. I mean, you watch this and you can tell this was all taken in one take. There's no
Yes.
cutaways. Like this is a long
Mm-mm.
piece of dialogue and this is
Yeah.
before teleprompters. Like, and I'm sure we all
Exactly.
know the stories behind the scenes where the actor was drinking heavily, which I
Yeah.
mean played into his character, so maybe it wasn't that bad. He
Hey,
was
that shit. Hey,
method acting.
R.I.P. But he brought his A
Yeah.
game. He brought his A game. I don't know what a sober Quint would be like. I don't know.
But
But
yeah,
my
that
boy, yes.
yeah, that piece of monologue is flawlessly delivered. All of it in one shot as you can tell. There's no
Yes.
cutaways. And even like as it's being shot, you see Hooper in the background and he's just like stunned. He's just sitting there for so long. His mouth is
Just
like partly agape.
dropped. Yes.
It's I mean, it's amazing. It's amazing. Yeah.
And at the end of that line, he's just like, but we delivered the bomb though. Wait, what?
Yeah.
Dog, if I'm Marty Matt, I'm like, yo, get me off of this boat. This guy's gonna kill us. That
Yeah.
shit was insane.
It was crazy.
Okay.
And then obviously he's talking about how the sharks were, eating the
Just
sailors
eating
who
up all
were
the
in the water.
soldiers.
And
Yes.
I mean, it's foreshadowing. It's amazing foreshadowing because that's he comes to his demise. But yeah,
That he
that
met his fate.
it's amazing. It really is. And I think one of the little fun facts that I read about previously was that at the time that this was filmed, the USS Indianapolis obviously had sank in real life. This is a real life
Mm-hmm.
ship. Um,
Right.
Nobody knew where it was. Like where the sinking happened was totally unknown. And I think some like very rich or connected guy watched the film and was like, "Oh shit, let me look up this boat," as you do.
Yeah.
Realized it was MIA. Nobody knew where it went, and he like helped launch this search to find where the ship went down, and he was actually successful in it. Now we know where the ship is. It's
Yeah.
like one of the deepest shipwrecks in the world, and all of that
Shit.
just came from this film, watching this film. And I think again that just shows how much that dialogue just like impacts you. You're watching
Yeah.
the scene and you can't walk away. It's so enthralling.
Nah. Yeah. And it's like, I don't know. I mean, I don't know if it just felt like silence, just everything around me. Like you said, you're just completely locked in on every single word, like clarity, diction. You hear nothing else but Quint telling this horrifying story and
Yeah.
looking in his just cold, dead eyes. But there's like this, like, I don't know if it's sinister, but there's like a twinkle in his eyes. Like he's like,
Yeah.
it's like he's reminiscing and he's almost like happy. I was just like, nah, get me the fuck off this boat.
He's unwell. Yeah. He's not well.
Seriously. Before we get into legacy and impact, did we talk about the poster? Did we go into like how
Not
iconic
yet.
or the,
I have some
yeah,
other
let's
like I got some other shit I want to go over.
okay. Hey
We run.
folks, we got Tori on the production. Let's go. Where should we go next? Back to you, Tori.
These are some other just random notes I took and some fun facts. So, like I said before, I love the way things are filmed. The film set is like one of my favorite things about a movie, and I could see a film and think it's trash, but if
Mm-hmm.
it was filmed on set and on site and it was, done well, I would give it credit for that. So, in the
Mm-hmm.
scene where they have the tiger shark and it's hanging on the dock, Spielberg was so invested in this and wanted to use a real life shark. So that is an actual dead shark,
Jesus.
a real
Oh
one.
no. Of
And they had caught it somewhere in Florida. Someone, they didn't kill it for the movie. It was dead for other reasons, I assume.
course.
But
Of course.
yeah, gotta put respect on my boy's name. I don't think he would do that. But
No.
they shipped
No.
it all the way up the coast, brought it to Martha's Vineyard, and at that rate, it had been days. And as they're actually hanging it, obviously its head is at the bottom, its tail is fucking up in the air. I guess
Yeah.
its organs were like falling down and were kind of at the back of its throat. So all the actors who had to get up close to it for that little picture scene were like gagging and having trouble not vomiting because it smelled so bad.
It just reeked. Wow.
It was ratchet. And but
Damn.
Spielberg wanted to do everything right in this movie and wanted to get it right. So he was like, we're using a real fucking shark. We're not skipping out on this. Universal can cough up some money. But
They got it.
I think
They
that's
got
a
some
fun
money.
little fact.
No, that's a great wait, is the now you got me thinking. The scene where Marty and Matt actually open up the shark
They cut it
down.
open.
Yeah.
No, that's
Was
not a
that
real shark.
okay? But yeah, but they were definitely emulating the gagging and the like
Oh yeah.
all
I think
okay.
they did use some type of like foul smelling because you obviously see the
Okay.
liquid fall out. So I know they did
Yeah.
have him like cut into something, and I think the liquid that poured out was like
It was like
tainted
that
in some
milky
type of way.
looking
Yeah,
substance that
something
it looked
nasty.
like the android substance from Aliens. Yeah, that shit was
Yeah.
insane. I was just like, okay, so that was a fake shark. Okay.
Yeah, that
Damn.
was a fake shark, but I think they made it nasty so that the reactions would be authentic.
Okay. Damn.
What else do I
What else
got?
you got? Let's go. Let's
Got
go.
some
Let's
like
go.
meta character development things.
Break it
There
down.
is like a random shot in the film that you'll notice in Act 3 where Hooper's already in the water. He's in the cage, and obviously you
Okay.
see big ass jaws plowing into the cave or into the
Yeah.
cage, and then
The cage.
there's a random little cutaway
Mm-hmm.
where it's probably like 4 seconds long, but Spielberg wanted a little bit more of like real sharks in the movie. He had some divers in Australia go take footage of actual great whites to just kind of throw into the movie. So
Okay.
in that scene, you'll see Jaws is like a little more at the bottom, but it's a real shark. It's like actual shark footage. And to try to replicate what they were trying to do in Australia, these people are shark diving and they use
Yeah.
like a very small shark cage and a very small, I don't know if it's a male or female, but a very small person in the shark cage to try
Mm-hmm.
to make the sharks look bigger because obviously Jaws is 25 feet. Like that's
Yeah.
fucking crazy.
It's
So
he's
he's huge. So to replicate that, they just did some stuff with editing and just made a smaller cage, a smaller person in the background and shot real life great whites from
mm-hmm.
a certain angle. So that's just a fun little tidbit that I just noticed the other day and I went and looked it up and found that out. But I think that's the rest of my stuff is some character development, got some meta stuff. So,
what's the meta stuff? Like give me like one of the meta
okay.
examples.
So, one of the like big meta things that I think there's a lot of it's not really addressed a lot in the movie, but I think it leaves some open for imagination is how Brody from the beginning we know is he's new to the island. He's coming from New York City. We don't know what happened in New York, but he's new to the island. He's the
Hmm.
police chief. And
Yeah.
from the get-go, he is very much like, I'm not a fan of the water. I don't get in the water, yada, yada,
Yeah.
yada. And then when they're on the little ferry going to try to collect the Boy Scouts from their little mile swimming competition, the
Yeah.
mayor
Yeah.
makes a
Yeah.
comment like, something, something, something. What's the worst that's going to happen? And Brody responds and just says, drowning. So it's just so interesting that this film, everyone else is terrified of the water because of the shark, and Brody is just kind of unaffected by the shark because he's already terrified of the water because of something else. And I think it's just a little
I didn't even
interesting
think of that.
tidbit that was
Yeah.
thrown in.
He's like, whatever. I mean, he didn't even tell like the townspeople that, hey, this shark just totally ate this teenage girl the other night. Y'all go ahead. Just just hang out. We'll be all right. He's
Well, and I
definitely
think,
it's in the back of his head, but
yeah,
he's not gonna bring it up. And I'm just like, what's that about? Why was he so I don't know,
yeah.
why was he like holding on to that little tidbit?
I think that's part of like this mystery because I was on Reddit doing my rabbit hole
Yep.
as always. So I'm
Where's
like,
one should?
why is Brody leaving New York? What makes him scared of drowning? Everyone is like, this is something we don't know. We don't know. It just never addressed.
Yeah.
It kind of just lives there.
Is this a plot hole?
It might be a plot hole.
Or is this intentional?
I don't know. We don't know. We got to ask Spielberg. Get him on the pod and we'll ask him.
All right. What's the last film Spielberg did? I feel like I don't hear his name these days.
Didn't he do Ready Player One? Or am I making that up?
I feel like that would be something he would do. That was a minute ago though.
That was a minute ago.
I gotta look into it, man. I miss my boy
Look into
Spielberg.
that. Okay, and then you want to go really meta? This is like triple meta.
Okay.
So
Let's keep going.
I just thought of this before and I added to my note sheet like last minute
Okay.
thinking. So this film was shot on site at Martha's Vineyard, as we all know.
Okay.
It was shot
True.
in the
Look
fall.
that up.
So the water was freezing, but shot in the
Freezing.
fall because Martha's Vineyard's got a lot of rich people living there. In the summer, they want to be on their beach. So, in
Yeah.
order to get the filming permits, they made Spielberg shoot in the fall. So, all the beaches were closed, obviously. A lot of the roads
Yeah.
were closed leading up to the beaches for the film setup. And the meta take on that is that in the film, Amity is the tourism is the economic status of the island. And the mayor is prioritizing the economics over the
Yeah.
citizens' safety.
Okay.
And
True.
the
I'm
fact that
tracking
this
that.
film was just forced to be shot in the fall in order to save their like economic and their summer funds as well. Just kind
Damn,
of a
that
fun little
is kind
meta
of
take.
crazy. Oh my god. That's extremely meta.
Yeah.
I wonder if he kind of wrote that in after the fact. That
Well,
just
I
seems
know
way too
yeah,
like in
in
the
the movie
rewrites or
or
something.
in the book, the mafia are the ones who are like, keep the beach open. Some
Okay.
mafia shit. I don't know. Kind of
Yeah,
cringe,
yeah,
but
yeah.
yeah.
Damn, I had no idea this was like shot in the fall. So now I'm just looking at Alex's death all different. He's not acting. He's freezing.
He's
He's like,
freaking cold as
give me
shit in the water.
shit. Give me
Yeah.
and it's just great. Okay. Okay. I get it now. Damn. I'm looking
Yeah.
at this movie in an entirely different lens now. Holy shit.
Yeah.
Okay, damn.
And then just the other little hand in hand part about that is kind of how the mayor is also like pushing off the fact that a fucking rogue shark is out here chomping up people on the daily. He's
Yeah.
as this is going on, Brody's like, we gotta close the beach, gotta close the beach. And the mayor is just more focused on pr- like everyone around Brody, really not only the mayor, they're focused on all these other minor things while people are getting whacked in the water. Like the one
Yeah.
dude is like, these people are parking in front of my store. You got to move them. His
Oh,
little
yeah, yeah, yeah. The
secretary
old dudes.
lady is
Yeah.
like, the kids are karate chopping a fence. And then even the mayor is like, get this graffiti off the sign. Like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
And it's like, homie, your citizens are getting murdered out here and you're worried about some
Exactly.
fucking graffiti. Like it's just very interesting little take on things. Once you watch a movie so many times, you just pick up on these random little fun facts.
I wasn't the biggest fan of all the, I guess it's a part of the film, but all of the citizens just kind of like randomly popping up and like just complaining about random shit. But I guess they just wanted to really like, this is the day in the life of like a sheriff in a small town. He's really accessible, but he's personable. But I was just like, all right, can we just get back to like the kids getting eaten and shit like that?
Yeah. Well, and I think that goes to the like uppityness of the area and that, oh,
Yeah.
something like shark attacks, they don't happen here. It could never happen here. And I
Yeah.
think I think that's part of the reason as you read the book and as Spielberg was reading the book where he's like, these fucking rich white people, like fuck them. Let the shark fuck them up. Like
That's why I
give
was
these
rooting for the
people
shark.
an awakening. And
Damn.
I mean, when you watch it and think of it in that perspective, like I'm kind of rooting for the shark too.
I think I'm on Jaws' side too now. Now that I'm on
I
Quint's
vote for
side all day.
Jaws. Yeah.
I'm rolling with Quint, but damn Jaws, yeah. This is like some Godzilla type shit. Cause like when you get older, you realize, oh, Godzilla isn't the monster, the people are. Like the wars and the damage to the environment, shit like that. He's just like enacting revenge. Okay. I like it.
Yeah.
It's definitely, yeah, pretty meta.
Yeah, that's all my meta
Do,
takes. And then
do we
we can move
want
on to
to get into
character
legacy?
development or what you
Oh,
want.
I think we should go into legacy and impact. I
Okay.
think we should go into legacy and impact.
You want to start us off?
Yeah. I mean, for me, I was born in 1986, so I didn't really like feel this. I wasn't outside at the time, so like big marketing, the merchandising, I don't know. I got to ask my mom or something. But it definitely inspired like decades of shark movies and aquatic horror, specifically Deep Blue Sea and The Meg. I still need to see The Meg, by the way.
Yeah, Meg.
So I'm just like, but it also changed how people felt about like the beach and sharks. Like since I've been alive, I've only known to fear sharks and fear like the unknown depths of the water. Like what do you say to all of that?
I think the same thing and um I mean, I don't know exactly when Shark Week was started, but I'm pretty sure it
Mm-hmm.
was after this film came out. And I think
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we can Google that real quick too, but I think
Yeah,
part
I
of the
got you.
reason Shark Week is so popular is
I got you.
because this single film just villainized this
Mm-hmm.
entire species. And it's not only great white sharks, it's all types of sharks. And they became so villainized. And I think Shark Week is something that kind of was a spin-off and just like a backslap to it because all Shark Week is these amazing things and these positive things about sharks and how they're so important to the ecosystem and all
Mm-hmm.
of these things where I mean, I think I read somewhere after Jaws came out, shark finning went up by 70%
Jesus
and
Christ, that's terrible.
it's awful and sharks are some of the most endangered animals in the world because of shark finning and it's not like people eat sharks but not on the reg like they do other animals and a lot of
Yeah, I'm
it
not
is
running to the
literally
shark
just
dish.
yeah, people are just killing these animals when in reality, you know, the second you get in the ocean, you are in their domain, you are in their home, and
Yeah.
they are the apex predator. And I don't think Spielberg obviously did this on purpose, but you know, it did have such a negative impact. And even the author who wrote the original book has said the same thing that he's forever living in regret because the impact of the film and his book is just so negative.
I mean, well, a couple things. Let's start with Shark Week started July 17th, 1987.
After
Jaws
Jaws.
was released, yeah, well after. Jaws was released, what do we say at the top of the show? June 20th,
75.
1975. So a little over a decade later.
Mm-hmm.
And in regards to the author, I'm just like, well, bro, if you don't, you gotta, what, you should have wrote Free Willy. I mean, we aren't, I mean, this movie is terrifying.
Yeah.
I mean, like we've said it like 10 times already. Not teen, like kiddies are getting eaten in this movie.
Yeah.
Like it's like real deal scary or whatever. You
Yeah.
don't hear about people petting sharks like talking about it. But so you're saying so I don't know much about Shark Week. Can you like real quick like go into like
Oh, yeah.
just what is the purpose of Shark Week? Like,
Shark Week is literally the total opposite of this film. It is to make
okay.
people actually understand sharks, understand their nature, understand, that they're not always a predator, that they're just acting on instinct.
Mm-hmm.
And it's every year, always in July. It used to be at the
Mm-hmm.
beginning of July, now it's always towards the end. And they change it up every year, but this year, like there's 3 new episodes every day for a week.
Right.
You guys can hit up my TikTok if you want some overviews of the episodes. I'll shamelessly plug myself.
Go ahead and drop it. What's the name of that TikTok, by the way?
At In the Company of Tor. So in the company, common spelling, and then TOR.
Gotcha.
So Shark Week is really just trying to put a positive look and outlook on these animals, and a lot of it goes into conservation of these animals and to try to help them.
That's dope. That's dope. I really
Right.
need a. Can you see like do they have like a back catalog of the Shark Week episodes over the years? Like, can we
They
stream those
do.
or
So Discovery
buy
Channel
that?
was bought by Max. So if you have
Okay,
the Max
HBO
app,
Max. Okay,
yeah, you can go in there and
okay.
stream all past Shark Weeks. Um, and I mean, they're obviously it started in the 80s, so there's a shit ton of it. And every year
Mm-hmm.
there's new content. I will plug
Mm-hmm.
Discovery. They do fund a lot of like the Shark Week research and the trips and the marine biologists that work on it. So it
Mm-hmm.
really is all around just a very positive thing for these animals that were so villainized by this movie. A
Holy
flawless movie,
shit!
but
Flawless
making about.
movie, but yeah. That's the impact. That's his legacy. Shark
Yeah.
Week, I looked it up now. You can actually stream it all, 11 seasons on HBO Max. So I'm definitely gonna go check
Hell
that out
yeah.
for sure. No, this is fire. This is fire.
Yeah.
Now, I know you mentioned your age, and I know I kind of aged myself out, an 80s baby here.
Yeah.
I did ride Jaws the Ride before it was removed from Universal Studios. And just coming right off of like Shark Week and everything. Jaws the Ride did not help the case of sharks are friendly creatures. This ride scared the shit out of me as a little boy. It was like, have you seen it? Have you seen clips or have you actually read it?
I've never been to Universal or anything, which is unfortunate. I'll change it one day, but
Come on.
until then I got to
Yes,
invest in
please.
my scuba life. So,
Yes.
I've never ridden it. I've seen the clips, but I mean even in the film, I mean a kid's getting eaten. So like what do you expect?
I don't even think there was like, I mean, nowadays there's like, trigger warnings and sensitivity signs like, hey,
That shit wasn't on
don't,
there back then.
hell no. It's just like, hey, just bring little Drew. Just sit on your mom's lap. I don't even. There wasn't even a height requirement, and it starts off like kind of like hokey, like, hey, let's tour Amityville or Amity Harbor, whatever the fuck. It's just da 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 da, and then next thing you know, it's just this gigantic ass shark just come ramming into your tram. You're like your tour guide all of a sudden has like a harpoon gun and he's shooting barrels and there's fires in the water. It's awesome. But
It's
it's
amazing.
absolutely terrifying. I don't even I think there's still an operational ride in Universal Studios Japan, if I'm not mistaken. I gotta look that up. But yeah, it definitely did not help the Sharks' cause at all.
No,
At all.
unfortunate.
So good. Did you have any other talking points on
I
like
think
the
just
overall
some
impact
other,
legacy?
yeah, I think some, just like a specific one because I know we both love this film.
Mm-hmm.
Alien came out like in the late 80s, mid to late 80s, if I recall.
Classic.
And
Yeah.
I know Alien took Ridley Scott used that same concept of because it was a similar thing. Those little aliens they were robots, they were mechanic, they were getting
Mm-hmm.
fucked up all the time. But
Yeah.
Ridley Scott kind of took the way Spielberg filmed Jaws and the idea that just because the monster isn't on film and isn't on screen at the time, you can't allude to it. So that's the same
Right.
thing when the little aliens like crawling on the ground and the music is getting your heart racing and
So you're
the
talking about
same
the
thing
face
of just
huggers.
yeah, those little face hugger
Okay.
things
The fuck.
and
Okay. Got you.
yeah, so it used I know they struggled with the same thing because Alien
Mm-hmm.
film set had its own problems. So they were like, Jaws doesn't barely has the fucking shark in it. We can do the same thing. So I know
Yeah.
Ridley Scott kind of copy and pasted Spielberg's editing and Alien is an amazing movie as well.
10 out of 10. We're gonna need
It
to do an episode on Alien as well. Like, no,
yeah,
that fire. But no, I didn't even think like, damn, he like used Jaws as a template. Yeah, it's a very atmospheric type of film or whatever, you know. But
yeah,
when that big ass xenomorph does show up, oh fuck,
yeah.
damn,
Oh fuck.
pure
You
terror,
fucked.
pure terror.
Um and then I think just my last kind of bigger picture is more specific to horror films is that I think something about a lot of horror films when we think about is maybe more for the film directors. You want something where people are going to remember so that when they turn off the light at night, like you are scared to go to sleep, you're having nightmares, you're fucked up, like you getting insomnia or something because you are just terrified to go to sleep, which I
Right.
think is something that Nightmare on Elm Street did so flawlessly.
Mm-hmm.
But Jaws is so different where it's not scary in terms of when you turn off the light. It is more of a situational fear. And I
Mm-hmm.
think because it is a situational fear, the second that you are in that situation, being in the ocean, it's like
Mm-hmm.
very mind manifesting, at least to me. And
Mm-hmm.
I love the ocean. I'm a beach
Right.
girl through and through. I love to scuba. I
Salt
will always
life.
get in the
Yeah.
water. The second I do though, all I think of is I wonder if there's a shark near me. I'm looking around. I'm only getting in clear water where I can see one coming from a mile away. Like I'm not fucking around in no murky water. I'm not getting my leg bit off. But
Yeah.
I think
Tori, we just talked about Shark Week, and
I know. I love them. I wish nothing
no, we
but
don't want to harm the
goodness upon
sharks.
them. No
No,
harming them, but
yes.
like
Yeah.
don't fuck me up. I'm a
Yes.
supporter. But
Absolutely.
I think just the fact that it is like a very situational fear just amplifies it. And I think there's not a lot of films made like that. Or the other really great ones like Alien, it's just very unrealistic, which just goes back to the overall theme that this is like a realistic I
Yeah.
call it a horror film. It's probably marketed more as a thriller, but it
Yeah.
is something that is
Thriller.
very realistic and something that happens very regularly
This
and
can
it's
happen to
just
you possibly.
amplified.
No, that's a fact. Yeah, I feel like yeah, the strongest horror movies in my opinion have always I'm a slasher guy when it comes like the to
Mhm.
the subgenres. So anything that I could like apply to like real life, like this could possibly happen, those are 10 times more terrifying than like Ghost and like Dream Demons and like
Yeah, for
shit like
sure.
that and Chucky's Leprechaun stuff like that. So nah, I'm with you on that 110%. Real quick, did you have another do you have any other favorites or just like shark movies that you really liked? Like was there one like over time or it's like it doesn't gotta be
Hmm.
on Jaws level of it's just not
Yeah.
gonna be, but
I think I really don't think any of the other ones come close to Jaws. Obviously, I enjoy them.
Hmm.
I get entertainment out of them, but I think the next, like, shark film it's always Shark Week. Like, I am on Shark Week. I've been watching it since I was a child. So Shark Week is the next best thing. And I do go back and rewatch random ones all the time. It's kind of like my comfort show when I just want to put on something that's mildly entertaining while I'm doing my
Yeah,
laundry. Just watch some
yeah.
sharks swim
Just kind of
around.
chilling. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So I think, and it's just a different perspective that is not shown in movies.
Hmm.
But yeah, I do like that. What the fuck is the Blake Lively one? That one's actually pretty decent.
Blake Lively was in a shark movie?
Fuck yeah.
Holy
Oh, it was
shit. I
actually
gotta
pretty good.
wait a second. Was that the Meg? No.
No, that's not the Meg. I think it was called The Shallows, actually.
Shark movie. I got you right here.
Shallows?
The Shallows, 2016.
Yeah.
Blake Lively. Yeah.
Yeah.
Still reeling from the loss of her mother, medical student Nancy Adams travels to a secluded beach on an island for some much needed solace. Despite the danger of surfing alone, suddenly a great white shark attacks, forcing her to swim to a giant rock for safety. Left injured and stranded 200 yards from shore. So this is one of those
Yeah.
one
This is
single
one where
person,
it's like,
single location,
correct. Single location, she's on the rock the whole
circling the.
time.
Okay,
Yeah.
gotcha.
That one is
Okay,
probably the next best one. And as you can tell
okay.
from reading it, it's not that great. It's mid.
Yeah,
It's fine.
I'm cool. It sounds like a
Yeah.
mid burger with cheese, but
Yeah.
I might check it out. I might check it
Yeah.
out. It's deep blue. It's deep blue sea for me. God damn it! That
Deep
that
Blue Sea
movie
is
just
good.
hits
I need to
fun.
rewatch it. It's been a minute. 7 meters down, I was kind of surprised how much I was into it. I mean, it was corny as all get out, but it was fine. But again, when Jaws is so old and so iconic, I think it's anything even in that genre is not gonna live
Yeah.
up. And if it is, it's still
No,
like it's so far behind.
I feel like I've seen Open Water. Does that ring a bell?
Yeah. So
It
like
seems like
early
one of those. And
2000s?
yeah, 2003. I
Yep.
think I've
Okay.
seen that. I don't know.
It's
Yeah, I don't
a
have a lot of shark movies that I'm feeling, but I'm definitely gonna check out Shark Week. You sold me on Shark Week. I'm a
yeah.
believer now. I
Happy I
was
did.
not locked in. Okay.
Well, my TikTok
So,
has a guide, what to and what to skip.
guys, go follow Tori's TikTok, IG, and soon YouTube channel. I'm hoping
We'll be we'll
we're
be
gonna.
launching soon.
Okay. All right. Well, I think we did it. I think we did it.
Think
I
so.
mean, we did legacy and impact, quotes and script highlights, filming style and technique. You smoked that, by the way. The making of Jaws and just the overview of Jaws. Thank you. Thank you so much. Any final thoughts?
I don't think so. I think this is just really a 10 out of 10 movie. Like,
Hmm.
it is aged like fine wine. It just gets honestly better at every watch. This is one of the
Absolutely.
few movies where it is on and I am glued to the screen. I'm not taking a bathroom break. I'm not refilling my beer or my Jaws cup. I am glued and I am not getting up until the film is over.
I would agree. I agree. I mean, I don't think I had really fully. I always used to say bits and pieces, but after fully watching it recently for the 50th anniversary, I'm just like, this movie is so good. It's definitely a 10 out of 10. I got to work on my film grading scale, guys. But it is so good. So, so good. It's kind of funny when it shouldn't be funny, but maybe that's just my dark, morbid sense of humor.
I think it's the dark humor thing, but it works. It works.
Yes, it's so good. I love the characters, especially like as an adult. I just like Quint is just so powerful. I love the characters in this film. But yeah, guys, 10 out of 10. Go check it out if you haven't seen it. It's streaming. You can find it. I'm all about physical media and supporting it. So go out and buy it if you can find that too. Yeah, Tori, thank you so much for joining me on my first episode, episode 1. And sharing your insights and passions for like Jaws, sharks, to the aquatic life. And you definitely have like, you're definitely locked in on like some serious cinematic filmmaking stuff. So like that was really I did not know that about you. So I definitely want to
Now you
like
know.
hear more and definitely have you up here again. Can you go ahead and plug your handle again
Yeah,
for the
so
folks at
on
home?
Instagram, TikTok, soon to be YouTube, you can find me at In the Company of Tor, Tor.
And then do you have like what do you any like anything like sneak peeks behind the scenes? Like what can we expect from you?
So this whole week I'm locked into my Shark Week posting. Shark Week content is coming. I recently did like 3 weeks in Europe, so I have some travel content coming. When you
Mm,
go to my page, you'll see there is no theme. It's anything and everything I like, anything and everything I think of.
yep.
So
Yep.
very random, all across the spectrum, but a lot of shark content right now and upcoming a bunch of travel content.
I want to see you on a pod. I just feel like you're just an interesting person and
Yeah,
you just have so much the way you unpack things is just fire. So I'm hoping to
thank
see
you.
more of you, video, audio, whatever you plan to do. I'm locked in.
Yeah,
And guys, my name is Drew. You can find me at Detached and Loving It pretty much on all platforms. IG, TikTok, YouTube. Please follow, rate, review, subscribe, leave some comments, kick my back in. I'm all about that engagement, baby. Let's go.
yeah. Leave
Next
some
episode,
comments on what you want to talk want us to talk about next.
hell yeah. Hell yeah. Give me some episode
Yeah.
ideas. Give me some theme ideas. Give us some tropes. Again, we talk about everything. It can be travel, it can be health and wellness, it could be self-care, movie. We love movies. We love movies. Any and everything. And we just want to talk about the things that we love. All right, guys.
Yeah.
So until then, be safe, take care, stay detached.